We need to say the truth. White people have never been clean. Not now, not ever. The entire history of Europe is a story of people refusing to wash their asses while looking down on everyone else. Let's start with the ancestors you worship.
What's up, YouTube family? I hope you guys are doing well, ladies and gentlemen, from whichever part of the world you're watching me from. So, on our today's video, just from the prelude that you've seen, um, it has come to my realization that most white people or most of the MAGA supporters are not happy with the silence that the blacks are portraying during this particular time in the US, especially when the economy is going to be a little bit hard, and many people are filing for bankruptcy. On the other end, the black people are silent, are thriving in whichever business or field they are participating in. So on our today's video, we're going to dwell on that. And first of all, take a minute to subscribe, and let's delve into the videos, and then I'll be back in the end with my own honest and real talk opinion about the same. So stay tuned, and I'll see you around.
Black people, I can't get through my For You page 3 scrolls without seeing a video about the people over in LA protesting. And if it's not a video about them protesting, it's all these different schools of thought on the protests. Or videos about the relationship that's kind of, I don't want to say fractured, but a little strained between black people and I'll say brown people. And I wasn't going to say nothing because that's like a political conversation, political adjacent conversation, socio-political thing. But I'll tell you this, bro. I'll be 32 this year. I've been living in Florida off and on since 2008, and I've lived in Texas. I've lived around every kind of Hispanic you could think of. Black people, we need to get out of the habit of trying to tell other groups of people who come to this country and want to align themselves with whiteness or be in proximity to whiteness what's going to happen to them. Because the enemy is white supremacy. It does harm to everybody, white people included. But the problem is that people come here and they want to perpetuate it thinking that they can trade and buy into it, not realizing that white supremacy is exclusive. It's not inclusive. You will never be them. Doesn't matter what kind of minority you are. Doesn't matter how you try to breed your way into it. It don't matter how much money you make. You will never be them. Because to them, especially the ones who make the laws and make the money, that's all that matters. And that's not to say you got to turn around and align with us. But you got to align yourself against them on every level. Not just the optics, but the ideas too. And expecting other people to come to bat for you when it's time for you to fight is crazy, especially when we see you and we see how you are. We see what you do. We see what you say. Because black folk, really, we very empathetic and sympathetic towards everybody because we don't want to see nobody go through the same shit that we done been through, bro. But everybody at every turn, every time are apathetic towards us. And we tired. So I'm saying, black people, don't tell nobody shit. Let them figure it out. Let them fight. And pray they win. Because ultimately, a win against white supremacy is still a win, no matter who won.
We need to say the truth. White people have never been clean. Not now, not ever. The entire history of Europe is a story of people refusing to wash their asses while looking down on everyone else. Let's start with the ancestors you worship so much, medieval and early modern Europeans. People so filthy they were literally scared of water. They believed that bathing opened the pores and let in disease, so instead of washing, they simply wiped themselves down with dry rags and perfume. Imagine thinking water is bad for you while living in streets filled with feces and piss. Doctors warned against bathing, saying that it was too stimulating and would weaken the body. Instead, they told people to rub themselves with dry powders or just change their linens and call it a day. King Louis XIV of France, the Sun King, bathed twice in his entire life. Let that sink in. The most powerful man in Europe smelled like a rotting corpse dipped in cologne. Queen Isabella of Spain also bragged about only bathing twice in her entire life. These people ruled empires while literally festering in their own filth. You want to call other people savages? Let's talk about their hygiene habits, or lack thereof. They didn't wash their clothes. They just aired them out like letting filth touch fresh air was some kind of magical cleaning method. They slept in lice-infested beds and wore the same sweat-soaked, piss-stained clothing for weeks or months at a time. Queen Elizabeth I bragged about only changing her undergarments once a month. Her whole palace must have smelled like a backed-up sewer. Their mouths? A disaster. Europeans didn't brush their teeth. At all. By the time they were 30, their mouths were full of blackened, rotting stumps. King James I of England's breath was so bad, people would write him letters telling him how unbearable it was to be near him. Meanwhile, at the exact same time, indigenous Americans, Africans, and Asians were bathing daily, cleaning their teeth with herbs, and wearing fresh clothes. But Europeans pulled up smelling like roadkill and still had the audacity to call everyone else dirty. Let's talk about the cities you love to glorify: Paris, London, and Rome. These places were open cesspools. People threw their shit and piss into the streets because they didn't have proper sewage systems. London's Thames River was literally so full of human waste that it became toxic. In 1858, the Parliament had to shut down because of the stench, called the Great Stink, was so unbearable. Paris? Just as bad. The streets were covered with garbage, excrement, and dead animals. It was so bad that the air itself was dangerous to breathe. Meanwhile, at the exact same time, the Aztecs had running water, street cleaners, and aqueducts bringing fresh water into the city. So tell me again, who are the real savages? But let's not pretend this filth is just in the past. White people are still dirty today. You have to be convinced to wash your legs in the shower. Doctors are telling you to wash your damn feet because so many of you think that you can just let the water trickle down and that's enough. The 2020s exposed how many white celebrities don't bathe daily. Ashton Kutcher, Kristen Bell, Jake Gyllenhaal, all proudly claiming they don't shower unless they see dirt. White parents are still proudly saying that they only bathe their kids when they start to smell. Imagine raising the next generation of walking biohazards. You normalized wearing outside clothes to bed, spreading whatever germs you caught from the outside world directly onto your sheets. You go to bed without washing your hands, your face, or brushing your teeth, and wonder why your skin looks like a medieval battlefield. Meanwhile, Black, Latino, Asian, and indigenous cultures have always prioritized hygiene. Africans were using shea butters, scented oils, and natural soaps before Europeans even knew what soap was. Indigenous Americans bathed in rivers daily using herbal cleansers. South Asian and Middle Eastern cultures developed some of the earliest bathhouses, perfumes, and skincare regimens. Latinos are known for showering twice a day and keeping their homes spotless. And yet, white people still have the nerve to act like they invented civilization. The reality? You have never been clean. Your ancestors weren't clean. Your great-grandparents weren't clean. Your hygiene habits, questionable at best. Cope.
What up, Nurse Gang? What up, TikTok? So, this needs to be said. Just want to come through the quick word really quick now. Disclaimer. If you don't like what a creator is posting on their platform, unfollow. But you guys have this, you want to argue with people and go back and forth with them on their page. It's insanity to me because I just block you. I learned how to protect my peace a long time ago. I'm not going back and forth with nobody on my own page. You can go to your own page and talk about whatever you like. It's free for all of us. So that's there. So I posted the video of, the immigration thing that happened today. And I guess me saying that nurses should not try to obstruct justice and end up getting arrested trying to interfere with ICE, a process that you cannot stop. The government has decided they got $179 billion to deport people. This is a process you can't stop, and you should not interfere. And 5 seconds of interfering, they still arrest the person. you get arrested as well, your career in life is ruined. For what? A process you couldn't stop. So people are upset about that. But whatever. People want to be outraged about immigration because it's a moment in time and this was being shoved down their throat on social media. But people had the audacity to come to my Instagram and say, oh, but when it was Black Lives Matter, you guys wanted us to stand with you. I'm going to need y'all to stop using that because I'm going to tell you something right now. Black people are the most oppressed people in this country, and we have been for years. This fear that the immigrants are living in of going outside. Imagine being a black woman in America and what comes across your screen, thousands of black women missing and no one's investigating it. Imagine being a black woman in America and you wake up in the middle of the night and across the screen is Breonna Taylor's face. She got shot in her sleep, right? And the cops dilly-dally and get off. Oh, Sandra Bland choked to death in her jail cell, right? Seeing things like Trayvon Martin and you're scared, young man shot in his back just for being black, killed. And you have a black son in America constantly in fear from being a small little girl in America sitting in class watching stuff like Roots, being traumatized from young, watching how we were enslaved, then watching, civil rights movement actions. Listen, no one lives in fear. When this fear you guys have is ours every day. Fear that your son is going to be driving and get pulled over by the cops and get killed. You know what I mean? Or as even a woman, that you're going to get shot. You're going to get kidnapped and no one's going to talk about it. They say, oh, they're kidnapping people. Yeah, there's plenty of black women who are out there who are missing, kidnapped. No one cares. So we have been in fear and traumatized since the beginning of time. Oh, they're enslaving them. What about Juneteenth? What about they have people down there in Galveston, Texas, still slaves when they have been free for a very long time? Like, we're the most oppressed. And then let's not get into what goes on in nursing. We're oppressed. Got to get doctorates just to get mid-level jobs. Got to be overachievers, constantly harassed. Like, it's everywhere. It's in the education. Systemic racism is in everywhere. It's the banks. It's the constantly. And who is that directed towards? Immigrants or blacks? So you guys always want black people to be so outraged by everything when this is the fear. We live this every day. We live this every day. So don't ever fix your mouth. Just because you guys, like I said, what you see on social media, the George Floyd thing made big headlines, but this has been happening to plenty of black men. This is something that black people live in fear of every day. All different entities, all different types of discrimination. And you guys are seeing a small glimpse of what's happening to immigrants. And I said, I ain't saying it's right. And I'm not saying they should be doing it. And I'm saying, they're putting them in prison wrongfully. How many black men have been wrongfully in prison? They do 30 years of their life. And then they find out they shouldn't have been in there. This is something that we've been living. Do you guys understand that? You're outraged because you're seeing clips on social media now, what's going on with immigrants. But this is something that we live. And y'all have the nerve to fix your face and say, black people should be, when we were standing up for you guys for Black Lives Matter. You haven't went through what we went through in this country. You didn't have water hoses sprayed on you because you just were trying to sit in a diner and eat. So please don't ever disrespect me by coming to my page, ever comparing what the Black American experience is like compared to anyone else in this country. And I stand on that. And if you don't like it and you don't want to hear it, you can get off my page because I stand on that. Please don't try to put us in that box. We are the most oppressed people in this country, and we have been more than any population. That's it.
Man, what's going on TikTok? How y'all doing? Hope y'all having a wonderful day. But check this out. Man, I noticed something with this deportation thing. I just couldn't figure it out. I said it in my video, but I just never thought about it. These people keep saying we're going to get deported, we're going to get deported, we're going to get deported. They projecting because we the only people that didn't immigrate here. We didn't migrate here. We not refugees to come over here. We not in the immigration system. We didn't have to pledge allegiance and denounce another country just to live here. We didn't do none of that. We not anchor babies. Our parents didn't come over here, didn't had us here. None of that. But they have. They have. And they hate that. They jealous of that. They jealous of that. Because number one, they thought they were going to be our replacement. They was working on it. I ain't gonna lie, they were working real hard to be our replacement. Then number two, they came over here to colonize us. But when they found out that Trump made it a way where we are emancipated people, we are children of slaves, we can't be deported. They hate that and that bothers them. That jealousy and envy bothers them because they already come over here with jealousy. They already come over here with envy. But now they see we can't go nowhere. Now they want us to be scared with them. They want us to be scared of if we see an unmarked car drive past our house. They want our heart to be beating fast, you know what I mean? When we go to restaurants and we see ICE come take somebody, they want us to be scared with them. And we just out here popping fans, you know what I'm saying? Well, them fans, and we just popping fans, having fun, enjoying life, talking, trying to get our money right, trying to see what's gonna happen in the future. We ain't even thinking about ICE. We're not even thinking about being deported like they is. They want us to be scared like them. They want us to be worried like them. You get what I'm saying? That, and I'm like, damn, bro, like they really are jealous of us. Not just the Africans and Caribbeans, the Mexicans are jealous of us. Because they mad because they not part of the 14th Amendment. They not. There's a lot of white people not part of the 14th Amendment either. They jealous of that, bro. We can trace our family to the 1700s. Some people can go far back than that. And they don't like it. And they jealous of it. And they hate it. I know it burns them up. Like all the contempt, all the anti-blackness they say about us, the rhetoric, the stereotypes, all that stuff they spew. And that one thing they can't get is the citizenship like we have. We emancipated people and they hate that. Ooh, they hate that. That burns them up. That's why they doing these scare tactics on us. That's why they doing all these things, because they want us to be fearful, just like them, of being deported.
Why aren't black people helping Latinos riot against ICE in LA? Let's talk about it. There are three types of black people who are sitting these protests out. Number one, the black Trump supporter who voted for deportations. Number two, the Kamala Harris supporter who voted overwhelmingly for Kamala and then saw that Latinos overwhelmingly voted for Trump and they're like, y'all need our help now? Oh, hell no. And number three, the older black people who are like, what are y'all up to? Oh, and there might be one other type of black person too. The kind of black person that hears something like this.
I don't think black people have a right to tell white people or Hispanics what they can and cannot say. And that means if a black person wants to use the N-word, that means a white person also can use the N-word, because all lives matter, not just Black Lives Matter. So with that said, we need to stop cancel culture. It is anti-American, it is anti-free speech, and if you can say the N-word, so can I, whether you like it or not. It doesn't affect your freedom, but you're sure affecting mine by telling me that I can't say it because I'm not black. So, make the N-word great again.
Okay, well, how about we make ICE great again too, bitch? It's a little weird that not only are Latinos pressed, but white folks are asking, why aren't black people out there protesting? Y'all usually ask, why are we protesting? It's almost as weird as this roll-off full of rocks that just so happen to be right in LA, right where the riots are, all cut off evenly, no construction around, just so happen to be there so people can start throwing them. Is that why y'all want black people out there? So y'all can get staged video footage to roll on cable news all night long showing unity and violence against Trump? Stop trying to use us. And all I keep hearing is blacks and browns, we gotta stick together. Blacks and Latinos, we're brothers, we're one. Okay, well, I'm gonna need you to have that outlook for more than just rioting and violence. I'm gonna need you to have that in the job market too, because blacks can't get a job in LA. Latinos hire Latinos, whites hire Latinos. If you don't come to LA already in a job that moved you to LA, or you own your own business, you're not working in LA. You know who's working in LA? All the people that they want us to protest to come here. So black people, the next time you're asked why aren't you out there protesting with Palestinians or with illegal immigrants, just let them know you put in the same amount of effort that they put in to get black reparations.
Immigrants, there are going to be the next group that are going to be the majority in this country, and they're trying to stop that. This is, and Donald Trump understands this. He understands. So all of you immigrants who believe that that black people can be in some kind of way deported, you need to read the Constitution. You have to understand that black and YT people will not be deported in this country. There are some Native Americans being deported. Did you know that? There are some Native Americans that are being deported before us. Because they're not in the Constitution. They're not in the Constitution. We are the only people that they cannot touch like this. And y'all fail to understand this. And now I understand why there's so much hurt and so much pain and so much divide, so much angry people when it comes to when I see.
All right. So as promised, I'm here back at the far end, and we can have, hopefully we can have a short closure to the videos that we've watched. As we've seen in today's discussion and the videos that I've played throughout that clips, many white folks are openly confessing how their obsession and misplaced hatred towards black people has not only failed them but left them confused and regretful. It shows us that hate is never sustainable, and in the long run it normally catches up with you. At the same time, it proves that truth, progress, resilience always shine through, no matter the attempts to bury them. And we have to be honest and recognize that some people may be, some of these white folks may be realizing their mistakes, the damage caused by racism, you know, stereotypes and inequality is real and ongoing. That's why conversations like this matter, and we cannot just sit back and, you know, we must continue pushing for understanding, for respect, for justice, for equality. And the goal is not to revenge or for any kind of bitterness, but to ensure that, you know, the dignity and fairness are the standards for everyone. So yeah, as you reflect on this video, I urge us to choose compassion over hatred, awareness over ignorance, and unity over division. So thank you so much for watching and engaging with Real Talk Black. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so that we can keep having these meaningful conversations. Until next time, let's keep in touch. Tell me your opinion in the comment section, and I'll see you guys in the next video. So cheers and peace out.